want to say that it is indeed an honor for me to talk to young people who are on the front lines of struggle in the various areas, in the various colonial enclaves that we call the inner city and the hood. They're colonial enclaves. Now, I want you to suspend for a moment everything that you think you know about what's going on. And I want to take you back in time to a period 40 years ago, the summer of 1968. You see, everything that the sister was talking about is happening. The rise of the police state, the criminalization of black men, the destruction of the black family, the urbanization of our communities, the crumbling infrastructures that we've inherited from migration, the response of white supremacy in America to what they perceive as a potential revolutionary threat and civil war led them to carry out certain types of legislative, illegal, and legal acts in order to consolidate their power. Brothers and sisters, what you're looking at now, what the Sister Kai told you now, is the final phase of a process that began in 1968. Just imagine you were a right-wing white politician from Mississippi, and every summer for the past 3 years, there were over 150 riots in America, in major urban areas. Police and troops had to be brought out to quell these riots. American cities were burning every summer, and it was being transmitted around the world. And what was happening in the world? In 1968, the French students went out on strike in support of the anti-war movement in Vietnam. In support of the anti-Vietnam War movement. They went out on strike. Soon French workers took to the streets. And before you know it, the entire nation of France was locked down. Its economy went into a tailspin. There were riots in the streets. Students were fighting their own parents. At the same time that happened, the Vietnamese launched the Tet Offensive and overran the U.S. military compound in Saigon. And it was broadcast around the world, and Lyndon Baines Johnson had to realize that the war in Vietnam was unwinnable. And he refused to run for office. In 1968, the United States began a process of right-wing consolidation that has led to what is happening right now in our communities today. Let me give you an example. When Richard Nixon ascended to office, he launched the war on drugs. And he also began to ratify the Law Enforcement Assistance Administration Act, LEA. LEA came into existence under the federal government to begin to train local law enforcement on how to deal with Negroes. To train them on intelligence techniques that they were beginning to learn in Vietnam